Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charlton, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And we got some drama for you guys here today, so you want to stick around for this one, make sure you go and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, this is not a secret. Malika Andrews has been the talk of the town at ESPN over the last few weeks after she went to Kendrick Perkins and she went to Stephen A. Smith on his own show. A lot of people have been upset with her, especially men. We've covered this extensively. But before there was Malika Andrews, there was Rachel Nichols. And if you heard people, maybe people didn't know who Rachel is. Remember, that's why you see a lot of people in the comments under those videos say, bring Rachel back. There was Rachel Nichols. She was a very, very popular host on ESPN for years. But after an audio of her came out, after an audio of her was released last year that was recorded in the Orlando bubble, after that created a media firestorm, she was subsequently let go of, from the network. And, that was the last time we pretty much heard from her. But recently, and by recently, I mean just yesterday, she had a sit-down interview on All the Smoke podcast with Steven Jackson and Matt Barn. And as she was explaining her side of things, it seems to me that there's a lot more to this story than we knew initially at the time when it came out. And it seems as if someone was after her job and they seized the opportunity to strike when she was most vulnerable. So for those of you who missed what she had to say, it's a bit lengthy, but I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety, so it will give what I'm going to say afterwards more context. So take a listen to what she had to say here, and then we're going to come back and react to it. Take a listen to that, please.
And at this time, I was also getting ready to leave for the bubble and went down there, and it was a different set of equipment than I had been using to broadcast at home. So my very first day, I'm there, I'm using the new equipment, and I didn't know that if you leave a particular app running in the background, that the line from my hotel room, looking into my hotel room to Bristol, would stay open. So I thought I was done for the day. I did the things you would do on your first day in a hotel room. I spent hours unpacking, called my husband, talked to my kids, called some friends, called my doctor, and unfortunately, that entire time, nobody back at ESPN told me that there was an open line to my hotel room and anyone who looked at the feed could see me. No one shut it off, decided, oh, she clearly doesn't know she's being watched unpacking or doing all these other things. And at least one person decided to just sit and watch and started spying on me like I was their own personal television show. And when they heard something they thought was juicy, they picked up their cell phone and they started recording my conversation on their cell phone.
A personal conversation?
Yeah. This was a conversation between me and a friend. We talked about a lot of different things. But then he brought up the article that had been in the paper about the lack of opportunities for people of color at ESPN. And we started talking about how my situation may intersect with some of the race and gender history of a network that is, again, well documented, is complicated history with both of those kinds of things and those issues. So we started talking about it, and I want to try to get, if I have it here, exactly what I said, because I think there's a lot of confusion over that, and there's been a lot of bad headlines.
So let's get it clear.
So let's just get it clear. Right. So here it is. I called Maria Taylor incredibly talented. Then I said, I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you, ESPN, are feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I know personally from the female side, well, then go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it from me taking my thing away. This is in my contract. This job is in my contract. Things kind of progressed at ESPN. HR did a full investigation into it. They told me that I had done nothing wrong that required any kind of discipline. Then 6 months later, they actually gave me a contract extension and a raise. And they actually elevated Maria in that same period as well. So I thought we had put things behind us. And unfortunately, I think there were still some people who had bad feelings, and they held on to this tape for a year, just kept it in their pocket. And then when there was a point they wanted some leverage with their own situations, they fed it to the press.
Now, I hope all of you guys were paying close attention to what she said there, because there's some serious parts I want us to focus on for a minute. Here are my thoughts on this. First of all, if you listen to her carefully, she said that she didn't understand how to work the app or something like this, and it was running. It was still running. It was still recording. And she was unaware that that was happening, right? She had no idea that that was happening. And someone was watching her the entire time and listened to her. And I think it was running live, but I don't think it was recording. And then she said, when the person felt like maybe there was something that they could hold on to and seize, they then took out their phone and started recording the audio of her. Now, let me tell you why that's serious. From my understanding, I could be wrong about this, and you guys can correct me in the comment section. I could be wrong, but from my understanding, I believe it is illegal to record someone without their consent in about 11 states. Those states are California, Connecticut, Maryland, Illinois, Massachusetts, Montana, New Hampshire, Washington, state of Washington, Pennsylvania, and Florida. Now, to the best of my knowledge, Orlando is in Florida. So that act alone may have been illegal. It may have been because she had no idea it was happening. And I think Steven Jackson even said, wait, that was happening and you were unaware that that was happening. So that's the first part. Then she said, that recording, I believe it was pointed out or something like this to the HR department, the Human Resources Department, and they found no wrongdoing. And she was given a contract extension. So I'm sure in her mind, it was all fine. Now, here's the key part. The information was passed on to HR, but the audio was not made public. You understand? It was within ESPN. They were dealing with it internally. That audio was not made public to the viewing, to everyone outside that company. Then all of a sudden, the audio came out and was released to the public and to the media. And that was when the firestorm was created. And that's when she lost her job. Now, who is the only person that is benefited in all of this is Malika Andrews. Now, am I saying that Malika absolutely not. We're just going through the events chronologically. That's all we're doing. I'm not a lawyer here. I'm going off of what she said. I'm not saying anything. I'm going off of what she said. I'm just breaking it down to the best of my understanding. But to me, it sounds like some foul play somewhere. Because if the information was elevated, the problem, if it was elevated to human resources, then they handled it. So what was the problem? If human resources handled it and they said they found no wrongdoing, and then she was given a contract extension, then there was no issue. It became a problem when they released the information. And the question is, who put that information out there? Will we ever get that? She never said it. I don't know. But I know that once that information was put out there to the public, she suffered the most. And actually, she ended up, losing her job. I can't really say anything beyond this because I'm only going to go off of what I've heard. I'm not going to go any further. But to me, it would be nice to know if the full picture of this. I doubt we'll get it, but something seems pretty fishy here. These are just my thoughts and opinions on this. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about this situation? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next episode.